It's Jordan Mulligan from the Mulliganbrothers, and today's interview highlight is with UFC fighter Michael Johnson, talking about getting in to the fight game. Today's video is sponsored by BetterHelp.com, where you can get online therapy from professionals with the link in the description. And as always, sponsored by Mulliganbrothers.com, where you can buy the Inspired Change t-shirts, the Hardest Work in the Room t-shirts, and soon to come, the new Rise and Grind gym clothes are coming out very soon, so keep your eyes peeled. Before that, let's listen to this UFC legend, Michael Johnson, talking about how he got into the fight game.
The fight game has just kind of found me, I guess. Like I said, I was being kind of young and kind of getting into trouble sometime in places, and being an athlete in sports and everything. So yeah, I always had a sense of never really wanting to work for someone. I wanted to be my own boss. I was really into sports, football, wrestling, track in high school, football in college. I did a little bit of collegiate wrestling as well. And once I was done with that, I just fell upon fighting, mixed martial arts. It was like a sense where I can almost like fight something that I took bad, kind of getting into trouble, and turn it into a positive and a good thing, and make it into a sport and a career. And I found peace in doing that and being athletic. My first experience was in high school, really watching the sport. So you would think 2000, year 2000, I was a freshman in high school. That's when I really fell in love with the sport, watching guys like Frankie Edgar compete and really wanting to be involved. So fast forward a few years, college football didn't really work out. And I started competing and fighting in Springfield, Missouri, where I went to college. And I think I went in the gym not really knowing what was up, and I kept my socks on. Going onto the mat, it looked like a slumber party type thing. That was a funny experience to where a guy came to me, was like, "Hey man, you want to kind of take your socks off? You can't really train with socks on." So got into that, and then my first fight was kind of like a whirlwind. Really nervous, even though I fought plenty of times before, I still didn't know what to expect. And the best came out of me, and I won my fight in first round knockout, and the rest is history. The UFC became a goal immediately. Just like I said, watching guys like Frankie Edgar compete, I looked at it, I was like, man, I think I can fight and compete with these guys. Definitely is gonna be the UFC, that's the goal. That's where I want to become. I want to become a world champion. I want to be the best fighter in the world. And I started working towards that goal once I noticed. The first time is actually, I came from The Ultimate Fighter, which is the reality TV show that the UFC was producing and still is up to this day. I think it's one of the best reality shows there is. So I tried out 3 times. I got denied the first 2 times, and finally they accepted me the 3rd time. I went in and told them like, hey, I can't keep paying you. I can't afford to keep chasing you guys around the country. You guys got to put me on the show. I need this. So they finally put me on, and that first experience was incredible. It was the cameras and being in a small environment and really, really being around true mixed martial artists on with the same goal, the same path at hand, and it was incredible. Definitely nerve-wracking. But I wouldn't change it for the world. Coming from a small town where I first started fighting, working towards that goal for 4 years, dedicating my life to it. At that point in time, missing out on family, friend, and sacrificing families and friends, and times being out. I was a young college kid, so I was trying to separate myself from everything. So that was definitely a great sense of accomplishment once I achieved that goal. Yeah, so it was a lot of family time, was the big sacrifice. I moved away from my family, leaving college, so my mom and sister and nieces and nephews were all back at home, and I kind of missed watching them grow up at the time of me chasing my goal and doing things for me. So that was a great sense of accomplishment there. I wake up, in the gym, 6 o'clock in the morning, 3 times a week, and then followed by team practices, which is 10 o'clock in the morning, what you guys are about to witness a little bit now. And that has been, a motivation for me. And The first 10 years, were pretty tough. I stayed in and out of the gym, working 6 o'clock in the morning, and then going to weight tables and then going to classes during college and then turning around and going to bartend and, followed by 2 or 3 training sessions was a lot on me to get to the UFC. And then it kind of dwindled down a little bit, but the training still intensified. It's still, 3 times a day training, at times, and it's very strenuous because you got to train so many aspects of the game. It was crazy. It was an experience, like I said, just the hours of the time it took for me, the time it consumed of me. And you got to remember, like, I'm in college, so I got college roommates and my friends. They're coming home partying at 3, 4 in the morning, and I got to wake up at 6 o'clock to be in the gym to get a lift in before I go wait tables at, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock. And then followed by a class in the afternoon maybe, and then night training. So you got to think, my first, 7, 8 hours of the day are very busy and running around. As a young kid, I could do that though. I had energy for days. I would party a little bit myself and then go back and do all that, which, isn't a good thing, but I made it work up until this point. But the dedication it took for me to do that, I wouldn't give it up. So my actually first few $1,000 paycheck was, I took a short notice fight in the Lake of the Ozarks in Missouri. And I was fighting a Matt Hughes, this guy, he's a legend in the sport. I was fighting one of his training partners, a guy named Clay French. And they needed a late second replacement. I literally went there to corner a friend. The main event fell out, so I was like, hey, yeah, I'll take the fight, sure. So we're running around. I had to go get a boiling mouthpiece. I had to, borrow a cup, borrow training shorts, and my best friend at the time, Jesse Zygan, and it was, they offered me $2,000 to take this fight at literally 30-minute notice. So I went in, I took the fight. I ended up winning first round submission. So I'm excited, at this time. I got $2,500 coming to me. The check ends up bouncing, okay? So the check bounces in my bank account. So not only did I not get the $2,500, but now I'm negative like $2,300, $2,400 at the time. And I'm fighting with the promoter to get paid, and I finally get a little bit of money back for a month, but it was still only ended up being like $1,800 after all the bank fees and everything. And I was excited, but it sucked because I didn't get all the money I wanted. So, fast forward a year after that or so, I finally get into the Ultimate Fighter, and I make it to the finals, and we get off the show, and then that's when I kind of get my first big check. It was I think like $10,000 or 15 around there, and of course I had fun, and it got burnt up as fast as you would put light a match, but it just kept going and going and going, and like I said, more big checks came, and I'm starting to learn to be better with the money now.
And there you go, that is Michael Johnson talking about how he got into the fight game. A lot of you guys out there are probably just taking your first journey into the fight game, so I applaud you all. It is such a courageous, character-building sport, and I love being around all the fighters. We're so fortunate and blessed to be around people like Michael. He has a fight coming up, so go follow him on Instagram, go show him some support. He was on a 4-loss streak, and he just won. He's come back, and he's attempting to continue that and prove himself once again that he is a contender in the UFC. Such a cool story. So thank you, Michael, for joining us. If you want to follow me on Instagram, it's at Jordan Mulliganbrother. And before I forget, the sponsor of the video today was BetterHelp.com, where you can get online therapy with the link in the description by professionals. Something that I have been doing this last year, so a full year of this now, once a week, is online therapy from professionals. I've been doing it myself. I will 100% recommend it. If something that you can do, go check it out. Click the link in the description. Just give it a look. See if it's something that you fancy. Maybe try one session. It's been magical for me. But guys, thank you for watching. Head over to Mulliganbrothers.com if you want to support us some more. Hit the join button if you want to become a channel member. Drop a comment, like, subscribe. More importantly, Be a part of the Inspire Change movement, whether it is through your actions, whether it's working hard in the gym and somebody seeing you from a distance, whether it's getting that scholarship that you wanted, getting that job that you wanted, starting that company that you wanted, or maybe it's just sharing somebody's story or sharing a message. Go inspire some change. Have a blessed and productive day, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.